Ready for a dose of English grammar? Today we're going to look at the perfect aspect, not tense. Perfect is an aspect. So let's have a look at this gentleman here. He's ready to go. He's warm. He's looking fine. And he's comfortable. Why is that? It's because he put his jacket on. I have put my jacket on. He's not talking about this, because that's in the past. I have put my jacket on is talking about the present, that he's ready to go, warm, comfortable, looking fine. That's the emphasis of I have put my jacket on, because it's present perfect. So he's talking about the present. If he was talking about the past, he would just say, I put my jacket on. What about this young woman? What's going on here? She's smiling, happy, feeling wonderful, and excited about the weekend. Well, she has fallen in love. So again, we're talking about the present. We're talking about being happy and feeling wonderful and excited and smiling. She fell in love yesterday. That's true. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about the present. We're talking about this. So she has fallen in love. What if this was all in the past? The same situation, but in the past. Well, that's past perfect. Or the same situation, but in the future. Well, there's your future perfect. So you see, you don't want to learn present perfect, past perfect, and future perfect separately, as if they're in different categories of grammar. It's the perfect aspect, and whether it's in the past, the present, or the future, doesn't change the situation or the way everything relates one thing to another. So the way I think of perfect, because perfect, it's the root meaning of perfect is completeness. Something is complete, but it doesn't mean that an action is complete. It may be or it may not be. It's not talking about that. The way I look at it is the completeness is you have the situation and what happened to create that situation. So we know the man here is warm and comfortable, ready to go. So we know that, but we also know why. It's because he put his jacket on. So that fullness of information is the completeness, and that's how I think of the word perfect. It doesn't mean without fault or 100% correct, as in the modern meaning of perfect, but perfect as in complete information, the situation, and the reason for that situation. Similarly, here, we know how the woman is, we can see what's going on, and we know why. And without changing the situation at all, we can just imagine that it's in the past or the future. He had put on his jacket, so he was feeling fine and ready to go. You see, it would be exactly the same thing in the past, but we just have to change the verbs a bit. He had put on his jacket, so he was feeling fine and ready to go. Or, if all of this is in the future, he will have or he'll have put on his jacket, so he's going to be warm and comfortable. Or he will be warm and comfortable. You can choose will or going to. So the woman who's fallen in love, if it was in the past, we could say she had fallen in love, or she'd fallen in love and was feeling happy and excited. Or if it's all in the future, she will have fallen in love. She'll be happy and looking forward to the weekend. I want to show really that if you can understand the perfect aspect in the present, then you can understand it in the past and the future, because all you're doing is just changing the verb forms. There's nothing else that changes. It just moves in time, and that's the change in tense. But perfect is not a tense, it's an aspect. And that aspect can work in the past, the present, or the future. See, that's why you mustn't confuse aspects with tenses. A lot of teachers, they talk about the present perfect tense, but it's a misnomer. It's the perfect aspect in the present tense. And then you see, if you get the language right, if you're accurate with the language, then your thoughts are more likely to be logical and you can understand this. Okay, who do we have here? Here's a girl. She's out of breath, ready for a rest, hungry, and her feet are aching. Why might this be? You see, we have the situation. For it to be perfect, we need to know why she's in that situation. Well, and then you can choose your tense. Either she has been in the present, she had been in the past, or she will have been in the future. Then I will leave that for you to fill in for your homework. I hope you feel better about the perfect aspect.